In the cold, shaded valleys of Japan, where mountain streams run clear over beds of gravel, grows one of the most difficult crops ever brought under cultivation. The wasabi plant, known to botanists as Wasabia japonica, does not thrive in ordinary soil. It demands moving water, cool air, and shade, and in return it yields a pale green rhizome prized above almost any other seasoning in the world. To grow it is to negotiate with a plant that refuses nearly every convenience of modern farming. Native to the stream valleys of the Japanese archipelago, wasabi evolved along the edges of clean, spring-fed watercourses. Wild plants took root among the stones where snowmelt gathered, in the dim light beneath the forest canopy. There the temperature stayed narrow, rarely warmer than 20 degrees Celsius, rarely freezing. These exact conditions, common in the mountains and almost nowhere else, shaped a crop that would remain stubbornly local for most of its history. The earliest records of wasabi reach back more than 1,000 years. It appears in a Japanese medical text from the 10th century, valued first as a remedy rather than a flavor. For centuries it was gathered from the wild, a rare find harvested by those who knew the hidden streams. Cultivation is often traced to the Edo period, some 400 years ago, when farmers in the Shizuoka region began to shape the running water itself into terraced beds. According to tradition, the ruling shogun tasted the plant and was so impressed that its cultivation was protected and encouraged. The method they developed is still recognizable today. It is called sawa wasabi or stream wasabi, and it is a feat of patient engineering. Farmers build step terraces of carefully layered stone and gravel on the mountainside. Spring water, filtered through rock and held at a steady cool temperature, is guided to flow gently and continuously across the roots. The water carries away waste, delivers oxygen, and keeps the plants at the temperature they demand. The gravel must be graded by size, the slope calculated so the current never runs too fast or too slow. A single well-built bed can be worked for generations. Growth is slow, and this is the heart of the crop's difficulty. A wasabi plant needs roughly 1.5 to 2 years to mature, and some are left longer still. Throughout that time it is vulnerable to disease, to warm spells, to any fouling of the water above it. The plants are spaced by hand, weeded by hand, and harvested by hand, each rhizome lifted individually from the streambed. There is no machine that can replace the grower's judgment. Because of this, true stream-grown wasabi is among the most expensive vegetables on earth, sometimes selling for the price of a fine cut of meat by weight. The prized part is the rhizome, the thick stem that grows just at the waterline. Its sharp heat comes from compounds released only when the flesh is broken, and that heat fades within minutes of grating. For this reason, the finest wasabi is traditionally grated fresh, drawn in slow circles against a board faced with rough sharkskin, moments before it is eaten. The result is a bright, clean pungency that rises into the nose rather than burning the tongue, quite unlike the imitation most of the world has tasted. An imitation is the plant's quiet tragedy. So little real wasabi exists that the overwhelming majority sold under its name, in restaurants across the globe, is not wasabi at all. It is a paste of ground horseradish, mustard, and green dye, standing in for a crop too rare and too costly to travel far. Genuine wasabi remains a luxury, grown in limited quantities in Japan and in a handful of experimental farms elsewhere, from the Pacific Northwest to the hills of England, where growers try to recreate that narrow band of cold, clean, moving water. Today, the plant faces new pressures. Warming climates threaten the cool streams it depends upon, and the aging of Japan's rural farmers puts ancient knowledge at risk. Each terraced bed represents decades of accumulated skill, difficult to teach and easy to lose. Yet the demand endures, and with it the effort to keep this most exacting of crops alive. Wasabi asks more of those who grow it than almost any plant they might choose. It offers no shortcuts, tolerates no haste, and rewards only those willing to bend their work to the rhythm of running water.